are you all? This is exciting. I am behind my art table again. I wonder what we're going to make today. Hi, I'm Hannah. I am from Accessible Arts and Media. If you haven't seen me before or met me before, I have come to do something that you can do at home with you. So today is all about salt dough. Have you made any yet? It's really good fun. I had lots of fun making it and trying it out for you. So these are what I've made so far. I've made a little ornament. Here we go. A little star, and it's got a hole in the top there, so I could put some string through it and hang it up. Don't laugh at this one. I tried to make a little animal. Here he is, look. I'm gonna call him Stan. So I was going for a hedgehog, but I think he looks more like a turtle. Don't know, he could be whatever you want him to be, but this is Stan. And then I also made this one, which is the love hat, and it's got 2 handprints in it for the people who live in this house. So yes, that's going to be our keepsake for, and every time we look at this we're going to go, that was 2020. So what you need for salt dough, really easy. You need half a cup of flour. Now, it can be any flour. I've tried it with plain flour and with self-raising flour, so whatever you've got is fine. Okay, so half a cup of flour. And then you need half a cup of salt. That's okay, isn't it? And then you need some water. Now, we'll just be adding a little bit of water at a time, so have a jug full. And I've got a half spoon cup, which is very important to measure things with. So you need a bowl to mix it all in with a wooden spoon. You need a rolling pin, obviously. You need a very blunt knife, or you could use some shape cutters if you've got any of them at home. And then you need a baking tray with some baking paper on, because it's all going to go in the oven. Okay, are you ready to get started? Yes. So first things first, you're going to mix in your salt. So half a cup of salt, in it goes. This is my pre-measured salt. In it goes. Woohoo! And then half a cup of flour. There we go. In it goes. Excellent. And then we're going to mix them together. There we go. Just a little mix, because everything's going to get mixed in all together anyway. So I hope you're ready to get messy. So we're going to add in a quarter of a cup of water to start with. So if you've got a quarter measure, that's great. If not, you've got to guess like me. So I've got about a quarter there. I think that's half of a half. We're just going to pour it in like that. And then we're going to mix and mix and mix and mix, mix, mix. Do-da, do-da. We are going to mix, 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 mix all day long. There's always a song, isn't there? Whilst we're mixing, what have you been up to? Give us a little heads up on what you've been doing. I always ask you, but do I tell you? I'm not sure. So I will tell you what I've been doing. I have been doing some gardening. Now, if you've seen some of the other videos, you might know that I've got a garden and I'm trying to grow some vegetables. Now, we had a bit of an issue because we've had some frost recently, and I put my butternut squashes in. Put them in too early, and then we had some frost and they didn't like that very much. So I've had to grow some more on my windowsill. Right, hold the phone on vegetables. I'll show you what I've got. So there isn't enough water in there at the moment because it's very crumbly. It's a bit like breadcrumbs. So we need to add some more water. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to put a little trickle in because we don't want it too soggy. Now, I'm going to say get your hands in there, get really mucky, but if you're one of these people that don't really like to get your hands mucky, you could just use your wooden spoon to get the initial water in and mix it all together. Woohoo, that's exciting. Yeah. But yeah, once it's, you do need to do some kneading. So once it is coming together, you do need to get your hands in there, really. So whilst I'm doing this, I'll tell you about the rest of the vegetables that I've planted. I've planted some leeks. They are coming through. They're really tiny. They're about this big at the moment. Very cute, so I hope they're going to work. What else have we got? Carrots. The carrots are coming through really nicely. So I am really lucky to have a garden that I can grow my veg in. Right. Oh, goodness. Right, so this is what I've got at the moment. I've got a big lump and it's quite, can you see it, quite crumbly. So I'm gonna add in the tiniest amount of water. The tiniest. Otherwise it's gonna go too soggy. Okay, are you ready for this sprinkling? The tiniest. Okay, here we go. So yeah. So right, get kneading. What else have we got? Potatoes. They're doing good. Although again, the frost got them. So we're feeling hopeful that they'll come through. Right. Enough waffle about vegetables, Hannah. We are down to business. Okay, so I'm going to turn it out of my bowl here. Oh heck. Come on, out you come. I hope you talk to your dough as much as me. So there we have it. We have a ball of salt dough. Ta-da! Great. So now you've got to get creative now. I can't tell you what to do here. You've got to come up with it all of yourself. So get your rolling pin. You can roll it out. Now mine might be a little bit too dry because if you start rolling it out, and you see some cracks in it, I don't know if you can see the cracks, that might mean it's a little bit too dry. So I'm going to tap one drop, oh there we go, one drop of water, and I'm going to knead it all again. You don't want it crumbly, otherwise it'll all crack in the oven when we bake it. So I'll talk about the oven now. So you need your oven on 100 degrees, oh that's hard to say, isn't it? 100 degrees Celsius. And you're going to put it in for 2 hours. Now, I know a lot of you do baking and cooking, so if you can't manage to have an oven for 2 hours, then you can always just sit it out on the side and it'll dry itself. So it'll, I think it might take a couple of days to dry, but we'll see. I have tried that method as well. It takes a long time to dry, but it does have the same effect. Excellent. Oh, look at that. So I have got a rolled out bit of salt dough. Now you can use your knife. There we go, look at that. Woohoo! So this is where you've got to get creative. Have you got some cutters? I've seen people do dinosaurs. But I don't have such things, so I'm going to use my knife. If you're using a knife, please be very careful and get someone to help you. You need supervision. So I'm gonna make a photo frame this time. So I'm gonna chop out the shape of a heart. Oh, it's a bit wonky. But do you know what? That is the beautiful thing about salt dough. Because if you don't like your shape, you can just scrunch it all up and start again. I'll save that bit for later. So here we go. I've got my heart shape. It's a bit wonky, but it'll do, right? And then to make a photo frame, all you need to do is just put a little hole in it. So I'm gonna, oh, let's have a triangle hole. There we go. That's that. And then, oh, now you've got to be very careful so you don't break it, okay? Have you got that? Now we're gonna once you've got your right shape that you like, we're gonna get our baking tray with baking paper on. So messy. And then we're just gonna transfer it across so that it fits on there like that. Yeah? Have you got that? So that's that one. And then it goes in the oven, 100 degrees Celsius for 2 hours, or you can just leave it out to dry out in the air in your house if you've got a nice space where you're not gonna touch it. And that'll be for a couple of days. And then, are you ready for the full-on Blue Peter moment? Are you? Here's what I made earlier. So, this is my photo frame. It's really solid. Now all you've got to do is paint it. So I found the best paints are acrylic paints, which they sound quite expensive, but I found them on Amazon for quite cheap if you've got any spare pocket money. If not, so I'll show you. This is done from acrylics. So it's a nice bold colour. This one is done from some supermarket paints, which are water-based. So they go a bit splodgy and they run a little bit, but it still works fine. It's still a nice colour, isn't it? Okay, so that's it. And then when your paint is dry, you can stick your photo in it. Ta-dee! So yeah, there we go. That is how to make salt dough. Please, please, please be very careful when using the oven. Make sure you've got an adult or someone to help you. And have fun. And please send in your photos of your creations. We would love to see them. And then they're a lovely little reminder of all the fun things that you got up to when we had to stay inside. So yes, get creative. We love being creative here. Okay, I'm nice and messy. I'm gonna go and wash my hands. So we will see you again very, very soon.